Toyota Camry TRD leading the field.
No better display than to show those 5 lanes of this racetrack than that right there. It can be done. They are there, and they will be using every one of those lanes today.
I think it's cool that NASCAR's helped do this and celebrate with the fans like this, other than just our normal procedure and 2 wide, to be able to show appreciation to the fans for all these years of coming to California Speedway. Get these fans excited. We're excited in the booth. I know the drivers are excited to be in these cars. They're real excited to see what this racetrack's going to do.
Oh, packed house. Awesome to see the one last go at this place. It is packed house. Everybody's here to see this race go down, and I think we have an action-packed race. I'm telling you, those big-name drivers you heard me talk about coming from the back, that's the way it was won, last year with Kyle Larson. I think it's all over the place. Anybody's game.
There's your Toyota Camry TRD leading the field. Lights out. And here's some Joey Logano audio.
How we going today? A good start last week. Plenty of pit stops today. We'll keep our heads in it. Plenty of opportunity to make up spots if we need to. Try to keep our strategy on point. Point the last one here.
It's spot on, Tony. And, you hear a lot of concern in the drivers, the crew chiefs. Was down talking to Randall Burnett, Kyle Busch's crew chief. Having adjustability built into this race car for these guys. No practice. This track, it is a monsoon. Tons of water down. Has it had any more character? What's that character? Those characters are bumps. We saw it last year. Cars bottoming out. Making sure that they don't get on those limiters too hard early. That's hard to do all off of last year's notes. So trying to figure out the other aspect of that is the pace. It being this cold, the pace could be upwards of 0.8 of a second faster. Guess what that does? That puts more load on that car, and it makes it even lower yet. So making sure you have adjustability, have a little bit of, that adjustment built in for when they get to that competition caution is where the whole game is made.
Let's listen in on Ryan Blaney's team. Roger Penske built this track with help from Les Richter in the mid-1990s. The Penske drivers would love to win the final race on this 2-mile configuration for the captain today.
One of the coolest trophies in the sport. I've always said this, drivers go after trophies. Those checks, they go away, but those trophies last forever, and this one is super cool.
Pace car heads for pit road, and the field addresses itself to the start line. 200 laps, 400 miles.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. And please be nice to each other.
I didn't take long for that. So much for taking it easy.
Look how dirty it is. Wow. Jockeying for position back there. That's what's cool about this place. Right off the bat, you see down on the bottom. They're all over this racetrack. Slip and slide and trying to figure it out. Ricky Stenhouse goes from the front row. He's in trouble.
4 wide and at least 2 places in the field, the first half of the field. Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman for the lead.
That's what's going to be so exciting about this first stage of this race, is watching these drivers figure out in such a short amount of time what's their balance, what's their car doing. Is it hitting the ground? It's not hitting the ground. Is it tight, loose? Can I move around? Can I make it better? That's the stuff that's going to be fun to watch right out of the gate here.
So instead of who's the best driver, who's the best car, are we looking at who had the best sim to set the cars up for today's condition?
Well, that's a great point, and the hardest part about sim is trying to figure out what the lap times are. And what that is the heights. You want these cars all the way down on the ground to get the most downforce out of them, utilizing that diffuser underneath the car. If you go over that and it gets on them limiters, on a bump especially, you can bottom the car out and spin it out. Saw it several times last year.
And to that point, you were talking about all the cars bottoming out last year. What these teams learned during the course of the season last year, some of those heights actually got raised, not lowered. So because of how they were using that underwing and making the cars get better downforce by getting pitch in the car, that's something that may take some of those bottoming issues out.
It goes right back to the sim, though, what he brought up. It's the lap time. You can't really figure out what lap time. That's all I guess until you go out there, they burn a lap, and you're like, exactly what I thought it was going to run to feel good about it, or you see that they were way faster and you're probably going to be lower than you need to be.
So Ross Chastain up 5 spots, Martin Truex up 8 spots, Kyle Larson plus 5. They are the big gainers in these early laps, including Alex Bowman, who came from 4th to the lead.
And as I heard every one of those names that you listed off, I looked
got the NASCAR on.
That's right, man.
You talked about right off the bat.
Looks like Bama is in the lead.
Downshift there by Kevin Harvick.
Truex, Suarez, 6th place.
Definitely heard a shift. That's that dirty air pace is what I would think. Cars get slowed down, bogged down in the corner enough, and give him a chance to reach down, grab him a gear, pulls it up off the corner, and keep that momentum.
That's a luxury we didn't have. You know, this new car with one extra gear like that, if you got bogged down in the middle of the corner, you paid the price the entire straightaway trying to get the momentum back. Having the ability to downshift like that and knowing when to do it and do it in an efficient manner, that can be a game changer.
Yeah, going to a 5-speed transmission just gets all those gaps, the gearing gaps, so much closer. It gives you that opportunity. Before with a 4-speed, it was too far of a gap, the gear-wise, and you wouldn't be able to shift. Already looks like there's rubber getting put on the racetrack. You can see it cleaning up. Some of that debris that we saw that first lap, all that stuff's starting to go away.
And I really thought, honestly, that we would see a lot of cars at the bottom of the racetrack at the beginning of this. And immediately, and when Alex Bowman got to the lead, moved up, and everybody, and not everybody, but the majority of the field has moved up to the upper half of the racetrack.
There's a lot more to that. There's a lot of layers to what you just said, and some of those, talking to the crew chief this morning, that's by design. You just heard me say that these cars are going to go right down on the racetrack. On the bottom of the racetrack, it's rougher on the bottom than it is the top. So they're actually set up, planning to run that outside where they can get the most out of their chassis and the heights and that.